Hello everyone, I am Teresa with Keep in Touch Crafts. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are going to be doing a paper crafting class, a little tutorial here, so that you can make some little treats for maybe some teachers or someone special in your life, some co-workers, friends, that kind of thing. This is going to be something that you will be using two-sided patterned paper, which we call DSP, Designer Series paper. We're going to be using some of that. You need to start off with a piece probably that's 12 by 12, and then we'll be cutting that down to 8.5 by 12, and then that is going to be folded and scored, and no glue, no adhesive needed, but you'll be able to fold that up and have a little treat holder or gift card holder that you can give to someone as a little gift. So that will be our project for today. Some of you may be used to coming and watching my programs on Thursdays at 8 p.m. live, either on Facebook or YouTube, but I am going to try something new here where I am going to pre-record them and then post them on my various pages and locations, because I was having so many issues of my videos just stopping right in the middle and of the lives that I was doing, and then it wouldn't record it and I'd have to take it down, and I just kind of got frustrated with that. So I'm going to try this new format where I just set it up and post it for you later on. And I'm hoping this will work okay. Please let me know if you have any comments or any input on any of that. I know that I'm not able to have that one-on-one or that immediate group back and forth when it's a recorded live like this, but most of it's recorded live. Is that what it is? I think so. Anyways, most of my videos were usually watched by people later on anyways. I only had a few people that I very much appreciate them watching live, but most people were watching it later on. And either way, it was always, I just appreciate all of it. So however it works best for you is what I'm hoping to be able to achieve. So I want to still bring good content, up to date, current and projects for you, and products and techniques and that kind of thing. So we'll just give this a try, and I hope you like it, and I hope you tune in. Please feel free to share this with others, subscribe, all that good stuff. That would be very much appreciated. So here's my little banner to kind of pitch that a little bit. But Facebook, YouTube, those are all great places. And if you have any information or need any information from me, please let me know. Just go to keepintouchcrafts@gmail.com if you want to email me. I also have Keep in Touch Crafts, that's annoying, keepintouchcrafts.com if you wanted to go to my website and just kind of see what I have. Okay, here is my email. I would love to hear from you if you have any input. And we are going to be getting started very soon here on our project. So grab some patterned paper, and you may want a notebook if you want to take notes. But feel free to just go to my website afterwards. I'm going to be having a tutorial posted on my website. It's going to be like this. It's going to be printable. There we go. Where I have everything set up, all the scores, all the information, and with photos, so that you'll be able to recreate this project too. So don't feel like you have to get everything and stress about it. You can just go to my website and get it there. So let's get started on our project. Okay, I'm going to put the camera down here on the desktop and we'll get started. All right. Okay. I have decided to use this pattern today, and it is from a Celebration freebie that you can get. It is one of the choices in this paper pack. And this is found in our celebration flyer. One of your choices for every $50 you spend, you can choose a $50 level prize, not a prize, selection, let's say. It could be a stamp set, it could be paper, that kind of thing. There's a lot to choose from. It's a really fun time, so you get extra products then with your order. So this one is called the Favored Flowers 12 by 12 paper, and it is a beautiful pack of paper. It's my jam, but you're going to find whatever your jam is in here, whatever you like. Everything from, there's some farming paper in there to some beautiful wildflower paper that would work really pretty for this project as well. There are stamp sets, cute little owl, all kinds of things. So if you place an order with me on before February 28th, you will be able to make some choices, and you may choose this beautiful paper pack as one of your items that you would want to pick out. So if you have any questions, of course, let me know. And I can answer your questions. So let's go ahead and start cutting. We're going to bring in our trimmer, and the trimmer is really helpful. You don't have to have a paper trimmer to do this. You can cut it, you can do it manually, but this is really the quickest and easiest way. Our trimmer here has two blades on it. It has a scoring blade, which is the light one, and a cutting blade, which is the dark one. So we'll start off by just making one simple cut. One thing you do want to do is have paper that is very random. It's not facing one direction. It's not directional, a directional pattern. This is kind of random too, so there's not an up and a down type thing on that. So that'll work the best. Otherwise, you could have it where, like this one has an up and a down with these little hearts on there. And it's fine on this side, but the other side then comes out upside down, and we don't want that. So that's a word of warning. If you have something that is directional, keep in mind you may want it on the inside here, like this one, where you can kind of cover it up more, especially on this side, of course. Or just avoid that and use something that is really random like this. Let's go ahead and cut. Our first cut is just at 8.5 inches. This piece we won't be needing. And now we're going to score. You can do this with a ruler and a some kind of a tool that you can make a sharp kind of a groove on your paper. This is going to make your project a lot easier. So we're going to start with these long edges. We're going to parallel to that. We're going to go 2.5 inches in and score with our scoring blade at 2.5 inches. And we're going to do that on the other long edge as well. 2.5 inches. Okay, so there we go. Next, we're going to do a bunch of scoring parallel to the short edge. So we are going to go all the way across, and as long as you write this part down, go to my website or whatever, the tutorial will show you. It seems sort of complicated at first, but it's really pretty quick and easy. We're going to do a bunch of scoring. So we're going to start off with 1 1/4, 2 1/2, 5 inches, and 6 inches. Now you have a choice. Either you can just repeat it and turn your paper around to the other end, do the same exact thing that we just did, or if you want, you can just keep going. So we just did 6, and then the next thing to do would be 7. Then we're going to go to 9 1/2, and finally 10 3/4. Okay, So on this other side, I don't know if you can see those. No, you can't really see them. You will be able to see them a lot easier once we do our burnishing, which is our folding and then really give it a good crease, which I'll be doing that with you soon. Before we do that, I do want to take and cut off, there are some scoring marks that make a corner portion here, which is 2.5 by 2.5, and the score marks show us exactly where that is. Even if you can't see it on the camera, it's there on your paper. Maybe you can see it on this side, I don't know. But each corner has 2.5 by 2.5 inch score marks. We're going to cut those off while we have our trimmer out. It's just as easy to use our trimmer, or you can use a scissor if you'd like to do that. Either way is perfectly fine. I am just using this trimmer. It has a blade on it that shows me exactly where I'm going, so I know when to lift up and when to and where it's going. It's very easy to see because of the ruler on the side, and the trimmer blade has a little line on it, so I can see exactly where I'm cutting, and so where I need to stop and where I go. So you can see I made some slits here. Then I'm going to make them on these. Each 4 corners we're cutting off. So I'm just putting the score line that I already made just right back in that track there. And I'm going to cut up to the line there and cut down to the line here. Then we're going to turn it and we're going to cut the other direction to get those corners cut off. Okay, so let's go on this line. I'm watching this groove, and it's going right down to the score line where we just cut. So we're taking off this corner, which is 2.5 by 2.5. We're doing that on all 4 corners. So now on the bottom of my trimmer, I can go, leaving it right in place. I can take the blade and go up to that next score line, cut that piece away, and then repeat with these other 2 corners. And it makes it quick and easy since we already have our tool, our scoring and cutting machine little here. We're already using it. We might as well just finish it up and have nice, easy cut marks. And this is what it looks like then, and this is what we're going to be folding and making into the little treat holders that we're making today. So let's put our trimmer aside. And now grab a tool, a scoring tool, bone folder if you have it. We're going to burnish all of these score marks, and that is going to make the project just come together better. It's like training our paper where it needs to go. And we're just doing all of the scored lines that we just made. Okay, let's see here. Three in the center. As you can see, when you do fold it on that 6-inch line that we scored, it's just a mirrored image here. So it's exactly the same on each half. Okay. I'm going to keep going ahead. It really does make a difference if you use that bone folder to get a nice strong crease on your paper. It's just going to give it a better look, or a more finished look, and it'll cooperate a little better for you too. This one's kind of a darker one. I feel like it would work well even for a guy, even though it's, kind of floral. Just the colors are something you could use for Valentine's Day maybe, or maybe you have a male teacher, and you want to make a little gift for them. I feel like this would be a good pattern maybe for that. All right, so the first thing we're going to do then is we're going to see these 4 corners. You're going to fold up And you're just going to take this edge here and you're going to fold it onto diagonally right up to this score line. I'm going to see if I can, maybe if I go in just a little bit more. Yeah, maybe you can see better. There's a score line that goes right down here. We're putting it right up to that score line and folding it. So we have that diagonal fold and crease right there, and you're going to do that on all 4 of those corners. Okay, giving it a good crease and repeating on this other side. And if you find in a future step here that if things are kind of binding a little bit, if you go beyond this score line with your folding, then when you fold this inward, it can kind of buckle. So if you have that happen, just come back and trim off a little bit right here on this edge if you find that it's buckling. But if you don't go over the score line, then you should be okay. But it can happen, so if it does, that's how you remedy that. I'm just trying to get a nice diagonal straight line there. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then your next step is folding each side in, like that, okay? Doesn't matter which side is over, just like so. Then you're going to fold it in half this way. Now it's getting kind of bulky, so I am going to give this a nice press and just kind of start really training that paper where I want it to go, getting all of those creases to go in the direction that I want. So as you're folding, when you are at this point, if you wanted, let's say we wanted this to be the main part of your project, then just go ahead and you would have it turned over so that whatever you're folding up right here is going to be the side that shows the most. So if you want to make this let's just do it this other way just to show you. This is going to have the green and the blue show a little more and less of the floral. Even though I love the floral, I want that to show. Either way, you can do it whatever side. So my point is just to show you which side of your pattern paper that you chose do you want to kind of dominate or show the most on your project. You have that facing down as you're folding. Okay? So we are folding it in half here. Then there are, I think you can see there are these 1, 2, 3 score lines, right? So here's the center one. Everything is just folded in half. Then if you leave this, keep that pinched together, then you're going to fold back and fold back. Okay, you left that center part folded together, and it's kind of making like a little gusset, okay, or letter M or a W, whichever. Anyways, you can see the little pockets here forming, right? And you have that piece that's going upward in the center. I'm just always wanting to really press it down so that it cooperates. So this is what this one's going to look like. You fold each side down. So as you can see then, the floral portion is barely showing. Okay, so this is one way that you could use this paper, and this is what it would look like. But I cannot hide this beautiful paper, so I just can't make it that way. I have to make it this way. I have to show the pretty floral. I just cannot help it. But you can do it however you want with your paper. Okay, everything's the same again. Folding that back and folding it back. Now the same paper is going to have that floral showing as the main pattern. Okay, cool, huh? This is how it looks. Now the next thing you're going to do is we are going to punch a couple of holes so that we can put ribbon through, and that is how it's held together. You don't have any glue or anything in this project. If you have some kind of a decorative little clip, you can even paint these. This is a little clothespin. You could have it held together like this, and if you decorated that, painted it to match, that could be really cute. But what I'm going to do is get some ribbon, okay? Which that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull in our, from our annual catalog, this is what we call the Fresh Freesia ribbon. And you can see that matches perfectly, which is one thing I really like about Stampin' Up! Is how everything coordinates. This was not brought in to go with this paper. We just happen to, they make sure that everything coordinates. If you have this light purple, I know exactly what color it is. I have ribbon, I have embellishments, I have ink, I have blend markers, everything in that color so that it always matches, and then your projects are going to come out looking better that way. Let's bring in a pencil and a ruler. And what I'm doing, what I found to work well is on one of these ends, approximately in the middle, as far as the up and down, right around the middle, I want to put 2 dots in pencil, and I'm going to go in 1.5 inch in from each end. So 1.5 is right here, and 1.5 is right here. I can't really see. Right here. So I don't know if you can see that, but right here is a pencil mark, and right here you probably can't, but what you'll do is grab a punch. I'm using a 1/8 of an inch punch. You can use what you have. And I'm going to punch 2 holes, and that's what we'll be using to thread our ribbon through. Let's see here, and again, you probably can't see it, but it doesn't have to be perfect. You have those holes for the ribbon. I think you can see that, right? And then to make a match, you can match up this other side and then punch, either mark them with new pencil marks like this, and then you could pull it away and you could go ahead and do it that way. Or you can, if you're pretty good with your aim and you'll get it where you want to, if you can get it right through that same hole, you can just punch it just without marking it. And I'm just eyeing it so that that is lining right up with the hole that I punched on the other side, if that makes any sense. Okay, so I got to make sure that this is going upwards and these are going back. Okay. Okay, now we are going to put our ribbon through there, and I'm going to grab one end, and I'm going to leave it right on the bolt. You can probably measure it if you have some. I believe, gosh, I want to say I did about 11 inches maybe when I made it and measured it before, but what I usually do is just see what I need. So we'll get this poked through one of the holes, whether it wants to or not, and you'll pull it through. Whichever side you bring it forward to is going to kind of be the front. So they look to me pretty much exactly the same, so it's not going to matter. I don't really have a preference, but some paper, maybe some of your projects, you might find that you have a preference of which side you want to be the front, and the bow is going to be on the side that's kind of on the front. Oh wow, I'm almost out. See, I've used this a lot. Can you tell? Well, see, I should have plenty on here, I think. I'm going to get the tape off. And I think I'll have plenty. But I gotta put that on my reorder list. can be used for many different projects, so I'll have plenty here. And we're gonna just tie a bow. If you're not a big bow, if you don't like tying bows, you could just make a knot and kind of tie it that way. You could just use a clip, whatever. So I am gonna tie a bow, and I practice these all the time, and doing it on camera is always harder because it seems like they're harder when someone's watching you, right? Okay, so what you do after you've tied it is you fuss with it a little bit. The first initial tying that you do is not how it's going to end up to be, because you got to kind of fuss a little or rearrange it, right? Kind of straighten out some of the ribbons if they're turned, put them where you want them to go, that kind of thing. Come on, there we go. And I might want it a little smaller. Okay, it's getting there. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is trim those tails. Obviously, I had a little more than I needed, and so I'm going to trim that down. I'm going to get my ribbon scissors, and they'll be nice and sharp, and that'll give me a nice cut. I usually go at an angle, and at an angle, and then see if I need to trim any more. I'm kind of turning this a little. Some ribbons and bows cooperate more than others. Okay, and I'm just going to trim this side a little more, and I want this one to be a bit more angled. Okay, that works. All right, now what you can keep in mind is one side you're going to probably have something in it, like I usually try to get something that matches, believe it or not. If I had a green tea bag, that would work well, but a darker one, you don't have to do that, but I just kind of like to do that some. I don't know if I found this color though. So you could, if they're a tea drinker, you could put that on one side, and then the other side could have your note card in there. If you choose to do a note card like I did on this one I made it, it's 2 by 3, so 2 inches by roughly 2 inches by 3 inches. Cut a little piece of the cardstock. Now I do have an embossing folder that I made kind of a pattern on this paper. You wouldn't need to do that. You could just, make it plain. You could have a little note folded up in there if you prefer. Lots of choices. You just kind of make it yours. Then let's go ahead and kind of get it a little bit more decorated with some bling. Let's see what colors. This one isn't gonna work. I want to find some of my bling or whatever, gems and that kind of thing with some of this color on it. So I'm gonna bring in my bucket here and find something that would work. That would work. I think that would look pretty. This one is the adhesive back milky dots. Just seeing if anything else is jumping out at me. Ooh, these would be pretty as well. From our annual catalog, we have some of these opal rounds, they're called. And lots of choices, but I think those are a couple. Let's see which one I like better. I'm going to use the milky dots, I think. I should probably zoom back out again, but so far I think hopefully I'm not too close. Now I need my take your pick tool. This is nice because this is a good end to pick up your adhesive dots with, or this is one I use a lot as well. Or you can use this end, which has a little bit of putty on it, and then you just kind of press down and lift. Let's see if I can, this one might be a little, yeah, you just press down and lift and it picks it up. And it's got adhesive on it already, so then you can just put it where you want it. I'm going to put one here in the center of the flower, and then I'm going to take two smaller ones and put them over here. Now you could decorate this in any which way. You could cut out more flowers, you could, you know, there's a lot of things you could choose to do. I'm going to get a couple small, and I'm going to put just one on this side and one on this side, and those will just kind of show. They're very, what's the word? You know, they're not real strong, like in your face type of embellishments. They're just kind of subtle, but they do add a finishing touch to those. And I think I'm going to put one big one, just one of them, right here where this kind of comes together, like so. It's really hard to see on camera, but it is right there. Can you see the shimmer a little bit? If you are giving this to someone that is, you know, real, that you like the shimmery look to it, you can use Wink of Stella that we have, and you just kind of shake it, give it a little squeeze, and then you're going to get some real shimmery, oops, off camera, hello. You're going to get some shimmery liquid to go shimmer added onto your project here. So I love the shimmer on these. You just kind of paint it on, and then the liquid kind of dries, and then it just leaves behind real subtle shimmer. And so anywhere that you want it to be shimmery, you could just use one item. I'm just putting it on these flowers, not even being very neat and tidy with it, but you don't have to, because once it dries, it just is real subtle. Okay, we're almost done. Depending on how much, I could squeeze this and really have it come out strong and really shimmery, but I'm just kind of letting it be subtle. And then when this dries, I don't know if you can see this on the sample or not, it's very subtle, but I doubt the camera is showing it very well, but it looks really pretty in person, and really adds a lot and finishes it off. Actually, I think, which tea do I want on there? I thought I had one that was just kind of white, but yeah. So maybe I'll just put this, it's a wild berry tea. That might go, and then the blue stevia in there, and then this side, that gift card that I had somewhere. Here we go, the caribou one. And you can sometimes get your gift card to kind of match your project, which would be really cool too. So there you go, guys. Get all this out of the way. Here's one side. Here's the inside. You'd be able to put little things in there too if you want. Here's the back. Okay. Yay! All right, that is our project for today. Let's go ahead and I want to see you one more time here. All right, thank you so much for joining me. I hope this is inspiring you to make a little treat holder, and you could get, is it the Ghirardellis that are kind of flat? Those would fit in there, like York peppermint patty, that kind of thing. Anything that's flat would fit in that pocket really well. So I hope that this inspires you. If you have questions, let me know. I'm happy to help out. Hope you have a great day, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Keep in touch.